I'm Daniel Norcross. Alongside me is Alex Hartley, World Cup winner, as we look back on the first match of England's Super 8s here at Palakelly, and a dominant win by England in the end. And I don't quite know how it's happened. They've actually thrashed Sri Lanka, the co-hosts, by 51 runs. Sri Lanka were never in the chase, but the chase was a modest one of 147 here at Palakelly, where we've seen some pretty good batting conditions. We've seen the likes of Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh crunching tall parts. We've seen Patton Nissanka hit an unbeaten 100 in one of the most important and consequential matches of the tournament. But today, Alex Hartley, this was a very, very different kind of pitch.
It really was. It really was. Well, I think it was. I still don't know. I still don't know about the pitch. It was obvious. There's obviously something in it, because England struggled. They only got 146. Sri Lanka, who beat Australia here just the other day, they've been bundled out for the lowest score of the tournament so far, 95. So there has to have been something in the pitch. But then when you were watching Phil Salt, he made it look really easy. But then so did Mitch Marsh. So did Nissanka the other day. You know, it's been one of those grounds where somebody has got in and somebody has done well. And look, for England, without Phil Salt today, they would have really, really struggled. And Sri Lanka didn't have that Phil Salt in their batting lineup.
No, they didn't. England were put into bat by Sri Lanka, and that was absolutely no surprise, because there's been so much rain around here in the Kandy region, well, actually across all of Sri Lanka. We've had over 1.5 times the amount of rain for the whole of February has fallen in just the last 24 hours in various parts around where we are. And so with rain forecast as well, the very real danger of us getting an abbreviated game, or a game which will be decided on Duckworth Lewis, that really encouraged Dustin Shanaka to bowl first. Also the fact that they got a recent memory of having hunted down 182 here to beat Australia, which they did with just 2 wickets down. So it was a bit of a blow for England first up, and actually they really struggled. They were told they were going to come out to be fearless. Harry Brook had said that. He wanted people to be fearless, not get out chipping to cover. But Alex, the batting looked a bit timorous to start with.
Tentative. Yeah, timorous is right. It's a bit tentative, a bit all over the place, not quite the aggressive side that we've seen this England side to be in the past. And look, Joss Buttler 7 off 14, he's struggling. He's not in the richest of form. He will be. He will come good. It almost looks like he's one cover drive away from being back. You know, but he struggled again today. He wasn't moving his feet. The ball outside the off stump, he kept swinging and missing. Then he went for the reverse sweep and ultimately got out LBW after facing 4 consecutive dot balls. And nobody else really got in. You know, Sam Curran hit a 6, got himself out. Just a strange old day.
I mean, look, Joss Buttler tried to get going, didn't he? But we saw time and again he was just being defeated by the left arm of Dilshan Madhushankar, who bowled through the power play. He bowled 3 overs from the far end. Welonage bowled 2 overs alongside him. It was one of those kind of days where the bowlers had the wood over the batters. There was no chopping and changing. It wasn't a matter of, you know, 1 over goes for 15, we're going to bring somebody else on, you know. It was that, wasn't it? The bowlers were just on top throughout.
Old school T20 cricket is what it felt like, where you go, okay, let's just hit the bad ball. Well, let's allow a bowler to settle. Every single bowler that bowled today for both teams was allowed to settle into a spell.
There was a bit of panic that started to set in because the runs just weren't coming. England didn't even make it to run a ball in the power play. Buttler went LBW to Will Allagate, playing a reverse sweep, first ball of an over, palpably out. Jacob Bethell was out for 3. Buttler had made 7, Bethell 3. Then Tom Banton, desperate to get on with it, he was run out, just taking a run on that wasn't there. Great work from Shanaka.
No surprises who the player of the match was today. It is Will Jacks for an all-round brilliant performance. It was at 3 for 22 and some very important runs as he receives that medal from the great former England captain and World Cup winner Owen Morgan. Will, I mean, frontline spinner, shall we call you that now? What a brilliant performance with the ball today.
Yeah, we're buzzing with that, obviously. Halfway stage we were 5, but obviously knew we were going to have to bowl well and work hard, and we had such a brilliant start in the power play. Joff got us off to a good start, and then we managed to continue taking wickets all the way throughout. I
mean, for all money, we thought 146 wasn't going to be enough on what looked like a good-looking wicket, but bit slow, stopping a little bit. What about the conditions suited your bowling today?
Yeah, we seem to do well here. We've obviously just come off a series against Sri Lanka here at this ground, so we do know it well. Yeah, with minimum really 12 overs of spin here, that suits us. I think we spin the ball hard, which definitely helps here, and we seem to do well defending, squeezing the game. Rookie's very tight on us, like squeezing, eking every dot out that we possibly can, and we know as a chasing side how hard it makes it.
More and more responsibility with the ball as well. You're bowling in the power play now, you're bowling through those crucial middle overs. How are you feeling about your game as well, because you're contributing in all facets?
Yeah, I love getting that responsibility with the ball. I think it encourages me to get into the game and perform better. I think I like that responsibility, and bowling in the power play is something I've done a lot of, so it's not foreign to me, and when we get on the surface like that, I come into the game knowing what I need to do.
A bit of an up and down tournament for England so far, getting the wins when it matters though, but that was such an emphatic performance. What was the word in the team room ahead of this one must-win encounter rather coming into the Super 8s?
Well, yeah, like you say, we haven't quite been at our best, but importantly we've been winning those close games. And I think it's quite relieving in a way to get through that stage where you're expected to win. Coming back here and against the better teams in a way, some of that pressure is off you. You can just go out there and play your way, and that's something we've done today. Play with freedom, and it's just about trusting our own game. We know we're good enough, and we know if we play with that freedom and that unity that more often than not we'll be in the right position.
And sticking with that same side as well, no matter the conditions. Wonderful to see it working so well for you in Sri Lanka today. Congratulations on another wonderful performance, and best of luck for the next one.
Thank you.
That was Will Jacks referencing freedom a lot, and what we were talking about just before we got that interview was actually it looked like England weren't playing with a lot of freedom, but the pitch must have made so much of a difference. Today I've been given a stat from Hypercourse. 7 is the most number of wickets taken by England spinners in a men's T20 international, behind the 9 they took here in the third match of the 3-match series they played before this World Cup started. So it's spin to win here at Palakelly, and England know to do that. So did Sri Lanka, for that matter, because Dinith Walalage took 3 for 26. Mahith Theekshana bowled superbly, 2 for 21. Dushmantha Chameera, the quick bowler, was very good at the back end, but the reference there to important runs from Will Jacks, because one of the strange features of England today was that their highest partnership, the entire innings, was just 26, but they had 8 further partnerships between 11 and 19. People were getting in, but they just weren't able to keep going. Were they trying to get a bigger score than actually turned out to be needed? Do you think there was a certain kind of like, we've got to try and get 160, and that was stopping them get to 155 sort of thing?
I mean, it turns out they didn't need a bigger score, but even Will Jacks said at the halfway stage we knew we would have had to bowl well. So, and they did, they bowled fantastically well. The wicket was turning, there was a bit in it, but even on a turning surface, you would expect this England side, when you look down and the quality of the players that you've got, you would have expected them to have been a little bit more settled than they were out there in the middle.
Yeah, and all the while, and you referenced it earlier, it was Phil Salt, 62 from 40. He looked a spot of bother out there at times. He's looking a bit lacking in puff. Did quite a few twos, but he's a very fit man.
He was out there fielding though, wasn't he?
He was out there fielding.
I did think maybe we won't see him again if he's picked up a little tummy bug or a dodgy burger or something at the hotel. But no, he was okay. Maybe he was just out of puff.
He struck 6 4s and 2 6s, and another intriguing feature was that for a long time he was the only person who'd hit a boundary. Harry Brook came in and got A4, made a 7-ball 14 before he was out very tentatively actually to Walalage, just propping forward onto the front foot, the ball striking him on the shin, reviewed but shown to be out. Sam Curran hit a 6, but he was out caught in the deep trying to repeat the trick. Jamie Overton hit A4. Other than that, it was only Will Jacks with 4 4s in his 14-ball 21 that could find the boundaries, and that was a sort of feature of today, that it was just not coming on in the way that it has done, which was a bit of a surprise. So the halfway stage, England were 146 for 9. We thought, right, we're actually sort of doing things like, well, if England were to win the next 2 games,
I know.
it wouldn't matter that they'd lost this, they would automatically go through because the first game was rained off. Well, what a sensational start, an extraordinary start. After a relatively quiet 2.5 overs, Sri Lanka were 15 without loss after 2.3, and suddenly wickets just rained down. So they'd survived 15 balls of power play without losing a wicket. By the 35th ball of the power play, they'd lost 5 for the addition of a further 19 runs, and some of them, Alex, were excellent bowling, good fast bowling from Archer, good bowling from Jacks, but some of them were horror show wickets, weren't they?
They really, really were. I mean, you can't lose 5 wickets in the power play, can you? And you're never going to win a game from there. It's going to take something remarkable and something outstanding to do so. They were poor, Sri Lanka. They allowed England to settle. They allowed England to bowl at them. The one wicket that sums up the performance from Sri Lanka was Hemantha hit wicket. That was just... how on earth has that happened? And you go, okay, it's been a really, really bad day for them. They've been bundled out for 95. If you could sum it up in one day, one bloke hit his own stumps.
Yeah, and it's quite a rarity, isn't it, I believe, in T20 World Cups. David Oboya for Kenya against New Zealand did it. Nasan Ahmed, Bangladesh against South Africa, and Hardik Pandya, India against England, are the only other instances in a T20 World Cup. So yeah, that was emblematic of what they did, but perhaps the most heinous of all the shots was when Pavan Ratnayake walked to the wicket with the score at 20 for 2, I beg your pardon, when he walked out to bat. Kusal Mendisson got out, Nissanka got out. 2 crucial players, the 2 that had been part of that massive partnership that got Sri Lanka over the line. The crowd had been silenced. Pavan Ratnayake has had a really good start to his T20 career, and he just hurled himself at Will Jacks with gay abandon and hit it straight up the chimney and was easily caught by Banton for a first baller. Jacks was on a hat-trick. England couldn't believe their luck, and at that point you kind of thought, hang on, this is not going to go the way we were anticipating.
No, and I don't know what happened to Sri Lanka. Did them beating Australia, has everyone got a little bit giddy? Have they got a little bit giddy? They've been brought back down to earth. Cricket's a real leveller, isn't it? They say the mother of cricket will get you, and she absolutely does. Cricket is one of those sports where you can have the highest of highs, like they have done against Australia, knocking them out of the tournament, and then you can have the lowest of lows, being bundled out for the lowest score of the tournament just a few days later.
You just got to be realistic. It's only Australia. They were up against England next, and that was a different proposition altogether, as it turned out, certainly with the bowling.
Now, let's hear the Sri Lankan captain, is alongside me. How do you reflect on that disappointing result for you and your team?
It's very disappointing, but at the same time we had a lot of positives with the ball. So I think we kept them to a score which is 20 runs less, and I expected my players to bat well.
It was a very low-scoring game. How do you explain that? Was it pitch? Was it bad batting? Was it good bowling? Or a combination of all those things?
A combination of all the things. I think the pitch played well. Certainly it was a bit slow side at the first inning, but with the lights on, it settled a bit. Which is we played badly, it affect our batting. So all the bowlers in our side bowl well, and it's not that they bowl really well. We played some rash shot in critical intervals.
Let's talk about the good things first of all. Your bowling, you've got a wonderfully varied attack. That must be a nice attack to captain, given all the different options as your disposal.
Absolutely. So in this World Cup we tried with 5 main bowlers, including all-rounders. So it is a nice attack to have, so which I can restrict most of the sides to low scores.
And what were the instructions going out to chase 146, 147? Because you lost 5 wickets in the opening power play. It's hard to come back from that.
Yeah, the discussion was there to take it deep. So as you know, played a lot of cricket in these sort of wickets. It's about taking it deep and taking the positive options and the right options. So which we didn't took. So eventually it's a one bad game. So which is not affordable in a World Cup. But we need to bounce back in the next couple of games.
Absolutely right. I mean, do you have confidence that you can do that now, given the way your batting performed here?
Yeah, see, as I mentioned, it's a one bad game. The batsmen, the top order, they have done really well in recent past, so I'm pretty sure that they will do well in the upcoming games.
Okay, we're looking forward to watching you play the next 2. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Harry Brook, England's captain. Nice birthday present for you to win this opening game of the Super 8.
Yeah, beautiful birthday present. I thought we played exceptionally there, and to get over the line and bowl them out for less than 100 was an awesome effort.
I asked Dasan about the fact it was a low-scoring game and how to explain that. How would you look at the scores there and explain why it was so low-scoring?
I didn't think there was really any demons in the pitch. I think the spinners on both sides used the pace really well, and that's what brought a lot of wickets, really. Caught and bowled, and lack of pace was creating chances. So we had a good chat about that before going out, and we adapted to the surface really well.
We'll come on to the good stuff with the ball. But given that you felt there were no demons in the pitch, were you disappointed with the batting performance?
It was just slow. It was hard to time, and I thought Salty played an exceptional innings there to get 60 with everybody tumbling around him as well. Not the fluent Phil Salt that everybody knows, but he's managed to get us to a very good score there, and a couple of partnerships at the end as well. It was a hell of a performance.
How concerned are you with Jos Buttler's form?
Not concerned at all. He's a powerhouse of world cricket. He has been for many years. He's arguably the best white ball player to have ever played the game, and he's just lacking a little bit of confidence at the minute, but I'd rather him start the competition like this and finish with a flourish. So looking forward and really excited to see how he goes in the next couple of games.
Will Jacks is having an exceptional tournament. You gave him the new ball today. Just explain the theory behind that.
Well, the spin worked for them guys, and we've played a lot of cricket here in the last few weeks, and we knew that he was going to play a big part today. And Jaxie was pretty annoyed with the way he got out, so he said to me he always bowls better when he's angry, and thankfully he got us off to a cracking start.
And you said that the change of pace was critical today, given that the pitch was quite slow and holding a touch.
Yeah, and I had a chat with the spinners as well, and we were like, we don't really need to vary our lines, it's more of our paces, and as we saw, we got rewards for that as well with a few caught and bowls, like I said, and a couple of catches out on the boundary, but it was perfect adaptation to the surface.
Do you think your team is better set up for Super 8 games here in Sri Lanka, given the surfaces are likely to turn a bit more than perhaps in India, and given the balance of your team?
No, not really. I feel like we can play on any surface. Like you said, Joss hasn't fired yet, but when he does fire and he gets on a very good wicket, he's going to get 100 and blitz the team away. And same with Salty as well. He's got 60 today, but like I said, it's not the flourishing Salty that we know. And once we can figure that power play out and get on top of them with the bat, then we're going to be a very hard team to beat.
Thanks for your time. Well done.
Thank you.
That's a very, very well-spoken Harry Brook there, I thought. Very fluent, very articulate, and he spoke very well about Jos Buttler, saying, yep, not a concern about his form, he's too good a player, I'd rather have him come good at the back end of the tournament. It's easier to say in a win. For those of the rest of us watching on, this tournament's now 5 games in England have played, and Jos Buttler hasn't looked in any kind of form today, and he didn't at all. Looked at all sorts of 6s and 7s. The only thing is, to touch him on a wicket like that, I'm still slightly confused. The one thing that Harry Brook there saying, well, didn't think there was anything wrong with the pitch, but
it was quite slow.
Really slow. And look, there must have been something wrong with the pitch, because England have got a powerhouse batting lineup. They've got 146, and Sri Lanka are no mugs with the bat. Got 181 here the other day against Australia, and were bowled out for 95. So there must have been something in there. He said got the spinners to vary the pace, not the lines and lengths. Yeah,
I think so. Attacking the stumps, vary your pace worked for both spin and seam. A little bit tacky potentially. We've had so much rain, it's been covered, and when they're covered here, they are covered, aren't they? The whole ground's covered, so there is no breathing room at all. So maybe a little bit tacky, but still a surface you would expect England to dominate on. With the bat, sorry.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? And it didn't quite happen, and it's been part of a feature of their World Cup. But it seems churlish to dwell on that when what we have seen was a really good bowling performance. And yeah, some of those wickets were gifted. We mentioned Ratnaika throwing it away. But this is a dangerous Sri Lankan side who came hard at England, and they got more boundaries in the power play. They were more aggressive. They were finding those boundaries more frequently than England were, and the bowlers didn't buckle. And particularly Will Jacks at top of the bowling lineup to bowl 3 overs in the power play, bowled 4 on the spin, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's a massive bonus if you're Harry Brook, but to get 3 for 22 bowling in the power play and the over after is fantastic.
As a batting all-rounder as well. So made me laugh there. Harry Brook saying Will Jacks says he's a better bowler when he's angry. Well, he's going to have to be angry every single time he has the ball in his hand now, because he's bowled superbly well today. He got away with a couple of deliveries, short, wide, outside the off stump, but you can't blame him for that.
Adil Rashid, Liam Dawson were very fine supports, but Jofra Archer with the new ball, we've got to have some mentions for him, because today has been largely about spinners. But Jofra Archer...
See his celebration, by the way? It looked like he was doing the Steve Smith. Do you remember in the Ashes when he gave it the C?
Yeah.
Or the I don't know how else to describe what I'm doing here.
Half a circle.
Yeah, half a circle, semicircle.
Like, yeah.
Jofra Archer started doing it today. Is that a little nudge to Australia being kicked out, do you reckon?
Well, I wonder. I mean, England had precious little to celebrate during the Ashes. I suppose you take what you can when you get it. And today he bowled well, didn't he? He made those crucial incisions earlier, Nissanka and Kamil Mishara. And with good bowling, good fiery, fast bowling.
Yeah, he's gone for 20. He's taken two wickets. He's only gone for 20 runs in his 3 overs. One of his overs went for 13. So he bowled fantastically well. That over that went for 13, there was one good shot off the stumps, and it angered him. You could see that he was a bit irked by it. And then the next one was down leg side. Then he was a slower ball down the leg side, and he went for a couple of extra boundaries there. But yeah, no, he bowled fantastically well and with real control.
Jamie Overton was the other seamer used, 2 overs, 1 for 13. He was the one who got the curious wicket, the hit wicket, which summed up Sri Lanka's day, really. He went to pull the ball and did Hamantha, and he went all the way around and just tapped the top of the stumps with the face of his bat. It was a very rare dismissal to see. It means that Sam Curran wasn't required. I mean, those 4 overs from Will Jack's something of a bonus, and while England wait for Jacob Bethel to be fully bowling fit, if he does get to be fully bowling fit before they finish their last game here, they will have 4 strong spin options to go with Jofra Archer and then Overton and Sam Curran. How quickly we go from saying, well, England have stuttered and spluttered their way into the tournament, to going, oh, they could be a real powerhouse in Sri Lanka in this group. Yeah,
I think they can be anyway. I really do. I think when they're one of the best teams in the world, they're finding ways to win, which I think is a dangerous place to be as a team, or a great place to be as a team, because you're finding ways to get over the line. And you know, teams that win tournaments do find ways of winning. You get that winning momentum behind you, and you sort of find ways of winning games you necessarily shouldn't. So today, England should have been a lot closer. It should have been a lot closer. Should have got more on the board. Sri Lanka are so much better than they batted today, but they found a way to win. I think when they found a way to win their group game, and then they're going to have, pick up that momentum leading into the later stages. I was going to say a phrase I keep getting told off for saying, so I got
the knockout stages, semi-finals, whatever we want. Right. Word on Adil Rashid. He hasn't had the best tournament, but he's a stellar bowler. He's now the 4th equal leading wicket taker in T20 internationals. He's only a couple of wickets behind 3rd place. He's getting on, don't get me wrong. What is he now? 38 years old.
Could be his last World Cup.
Could be.
Should be.
I don't know. I don't think it should be.
No.
I mean,
no, it shouldn't be. There's no one else better than him.
He's evergreen. He doesn't play red ball cricket.
No.
He looks perfectly fine to me. But he hasn't had the best tournament on those Indian pitches where it was really flat and postage stamp outfields, and getting walloped around Kolkata, and the Scots getting after him. Needs a bit of confidence.
Today I'll give him that.
Will, won't it?
Yeah, he's only gone for 13 runs. So yes, he's picked up wickets, but he's picked up wickets throughout the competition. He's just gone at 10s, which is so unlike him. So the fact that he's been able to, I guess, just bowl straight, mix up his pace, not go for many runs, will obviously give him a little bit more confidence. And these surfaces do suit him. And the bigger outfields, when you go back to Colombo as well, massive outfield at the Premadasa. Yeah,
well, it's important you should mention that, because England have got 2 matches left. If they were to win one of them, by my calculations, they will be through, because they would get to 4 points, and New Zealand would, or Pakistan wouldn't be able to get anywhere near that. Sri Lanka could get to 4 points if they win their last 2. But if they did get to 4 points, they would necessarily have to take points off New Zealand and Pakistan. So if England get to 4, with 2 sides having got 1 point, there's no way that 2 other sides can get 4. That's basically how it works.
They play the strongest team in this group last. They play New Zealand last, and for me, they're the strongest team. So they've got a real opportunity to cement the next stage in the next game.
Before I give you all the scenarios for that, just a quick word on Liam Dawson, because this is his first. He's been around World Cups, but it's the first time he's been able to get out there and play an active role. And now he's going to be relishing it, isn't he? In 2 days' time, he gets to play against Pakistan on a surface. It could be totally different. It could be. I mean, and it's a 7 o'clock game, so the ball could come on a bit different. But he'll be thinking, oh, this is nice. At last, at my age, I'm 35 years old. I'm finally getting the opportunity.
He's young.
Young. Finally getting the opportunity. Been carrying the drinks, been doing all that. It's a lovely story, really, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah, it really is. I love to see him out there in the middle and doing well. And, you know, he's been in and out of England teams, and it's just nice to see him out there and performing on the stage.
Now then, we've talked about all the bowlers, but there's been one batter who stood out head and shoulders above all the other batters today from both sides, and Atif Nawaz has been down pitch side talking to Phil Salt.
I've got Phil Salt alongside me right now. Phil, terrific win for the side. What's the mood like in the camp?
Yeah, obviously pretty buoyant after a win like that. Part of our World Cup prep was coming out here and playing them in a bilateral series, and we won a very similar game to that on this same ground, so we had a lot of confidence going in, and it just sort of reaffirms that belief, I suppose, that we come in from anywhere.
Halfway through, when you put that total on the board, did it feel below par, or did you feel quite confident you could defend it?
I felt pretty confident at the time because I'd spent a bit of time out there, and it wasn't the easiest wicket to play on, but quietly confident. You know that they've got some good players in their side, and probably most important to sort of cut the head off the snake with Nissanka and Kusal Mendis, and we did that and just kept the momentum, kept the aggressive mentality, and paid off for us.
How did you find conditions here in Pallekele?
Very different, I'd say. You can play one wicket over, and it could be something that you play on in England, and then you come today and it's low. It spins a bit, it's holding, it's quite inconsistent. So it's a whole range of conditions that you can get here.
You must be pleased with your own form. Terrific knock today here in difficult conditions.
Yeah, really pleased with it. Just about helping the team, and that's what I wanted to do. You get into these stages of tournaments, and you want to be the person putting the hand up and putting in those performances. So yeah, pleased.
You guys have managed to get a game happen today as well. The forecast was a little bit iffy. Yesterday, New Zealand, Pakistan was rained out. You have Pakistan next on Tuesday. With points on the board, top of the table to start with, what's the feeling like at the moment with the team going forward?
We know we've got to win our next couple of games. I don't think we're going to be doing backflips, going we've done it, because we haven't. We've got more important games coming up in this tournament, and that's the nature of tournament cricket. The most important game is the next game at this point, so just looking forward.
And how are you doing? Because you looked like you were cramping a little bit when you were batting, but you were obviously throwing yourself around the field, so I figured you were okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't cramping. I've just had a bit of a chest thing. You can probably hear it in my voice, and that was the time that everything in my chest decided it was time to come out. Not ideal, but that's what I was dealing with. A few dry heaves, but no, we're good to go.
Well, you batted well nonetheless, and congratulations on the win today.
Thanks very much.
That was Phil Salt talking to Atif Nawaz, and he didn't look the best. He had a couple of twos he had to run, one after the other out, and then he was down on his haunches. And
it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
I was not sure quite why he fielded, but I suppose that's it's good that he did. And England are going to need him, because so far in that top order it's just not firing. There have been precious few half centuries really to speak of. Today he batted really well on difficult surface. I mean, there was 1-6 I was really impressed with, the one that he played off the back foot, and the power play over extra cover early on was a cracking shot. There were a few streaky boundaries, as you need a bit of luck on this surface.
Well, I thought when I saw that 6 that had gone over extra cover in the power play, I thought, whoa, we're on for a monster. How wrong was I?
Indeed. Well, we all were, because we were all sort of thinking a little bit like that. Now then, what's coming up? Let me talk to you about that. After South Africa and India today, let's look forward to England's schedule, if you like. England play Pakistan next in 2 days' time. That's at 1:30 p.m. UK time, and it's a really important game for both sides, because if England can win it, then it really won't matter what they do against New Zealand particularly. They will be through to the semi-finals. I suppose it matters in the sense that sides will want to avoid India. India are likely to win.
Being in India, or
well, they'll have to be in India.
Yeah.
So there's no choice. Whoever gets through for this group that isn't Pakistan will be in India. But it's who you play, I guess. And they'll all say, we don't care who we play. but they do a bit because there's a chance India might get knocked out in the semi-final stage, so they might not have to play them at all. So, there is that. And for Pakistan, it's a really significant game because if they were to lose that game, they'd have 1 point from 2 games, and then would be up against Sri Lanka in their last game, and Sri Lanka play against New Zealand in the next game. If New Zealand were to win that game, then effectively what Pakistan would be needing is for England to do them a favour by beating New Zealand so that Pakistan could beat Sri Lanka, and then we'd be into net run rate, which is one of our favourite things. So England-Pakistan here, who looks the stronger side from what you've seen of this surface today?
That is a very, very good question. I want to say England, but the Pakistan spin bowlers might get through England, if that makes sense. If the wicket's very similar to what we've had today, I sort of think maybe Pakistan. I just don't see Pakistan with the bat. I see England being able to have a good day with the bat on a surface like that, but I'm not overly sure, overly confident. And look, Pakistan have got the batters that just, they've been a bit like Joss Butler. They've just not been in form. They've just not scored runs, and they are capable of. Usman Khan, for example, he keeps sliding down the order, but he's got, hundreds in the PSL opening the batting, so he's a very capable batter. I just have more confidence in England's batting lineup on that surface.
I mean, let's be clear, what we're talking about is a group where 4 teams have had a flawed World Cup. Because they've all finished second in their group, whereas the other group, the group that's in India, every single one of them has won their games. They're unbeaten. Zimbabwe had a rain-off, but other than that, they're all unbeaten. And so I guess we're all kind of looking at this going, anybody can beat anybody on their day. Why do you say that for you, New Zealand are the strongest team in this group?
I just think they look like a proper unit. They've got a really nice balanced squad. I think they've got Tim Seifert and Finn Allen at the top of the order that are just, they make a bowling attack scared. The way that they play cricket. Yes, they can get out early, but then you've got Daryl Mitchell coming in the middle. He's been in a rich form for a long period of time. He's so consistent. And then with the ball, Lockie Ferguson being back, taking wickets as well. He's now back in the country after the birth of his child, his first child. So I just think for me in this group they look like the best side.
I can see that. The one thing I would say is, just on the spin bowling front, I wonder, they do have to play here at some point. I think they'll play.
Might end up playing Ish Sodhi for the first time in the competition. He's been sat on the bench, hasn't he? And
he is one of the leading T20 wicket takers in international cricket. He has got slightly more than Adil Rashid. So it's good. They're vying for position there, up near the very, very top. It's time for us, though, to move on. We have had a sensational start to England's campaign in the Super 8s. They've come from what looked like a position of hopelessness, in the end, to thrash the co-host Sri Lanka by 51 runs.